Hello, and welcome to Let the Fans Talk, our weekly NFL podcast / sports podcast.
Yeah.
Where there is no such thing as a 10-second runoff.
Oh, God.
I'm your host, Rye Guy.
And I'm Kien.
Alright, so jumping into the news real quick, just some quick things to run through. I found this one pretty funny. Miami Dolphins head coach Adam Gase says he's tired of Dolphins' garbage offense. So the entire offense getting called out by their head coach after their horrible display losing to the New York Jets on Sunday.
That was this week was a lot of what the fucks. I don't know about you.
It was an interesting week.
It
was a lot of, I think, finding out which teams were actually middle of the road and then which teams were actually
of that. And I think you know which team I'm really surprised losing because they are the team I root for, where I was a little,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then some good news for the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck could return to practice this week from his shoulder injury.
Oh, what luck.
So there's a little bright spot for you guys, even though you're already out of the playoff race just by being the Colts. And then we have former NFL running back Trent Richardson signed with the Canadian Football League's Rough Riders. So that's pretty cool. And the Miami Dolphins also reinstated Lawrence Timmons following his suspension. So he is officially back with the team.
Okay.
I mean, before he was suspended indefinitely after missing the Week 2 game, but he's back with the team now. So I suppose that's good. All right, so now we're going to dive right in.
Can I just ask you just the one thing that's been, like, I've not said anything, and I've just seen a lot of people talk about this, and I'm just going to we're going to gloss over it because we have an entire 30-minute
If you're gonna talk about the whole,
I was just gonna talk about the Steelers one.
Okay.
I'm not. I have no
Trump thing. Like, I don't want to touch on that.
Right. I'm not talking about the Trump thing.
Yeah.
That is actually the tangent later. But the only thing I wanted to gloss over is that like the player who did it, because a lot of the media were posting. You know how they were posting about it. Like they didn't mean, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They were supposed to be out there. They just weren't out there in time. So a lot of people have been shitting on the Steelers because of that, you know what I mean? And which I don't think is fair. They stayed in their locker room.
They stayed in the tunnel.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
They were in the tunnel.
Right.
It was just the one guy out there for the anthem. He asked the heads of the team if it was okay for him to stand at the front of the tunnel for the anthem, and they said,
which is weird because I just heard because they just put out another story, just like I don't know, like this morning about the team captains were all supposed to be out there.
Mike Tomlin cleared it up. Okay. They had the choice of whether or not they wanted to stand up front with them.
Right.
What happened was he didn't go over it with his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
He just went over it with
Villanova.
Well, I mean, it was. I think he talked to the team's captains.
That's the one.
And then they said that it was fine for him to do that, but he didn't let the rest of the team know. He just let them know. So there was other guys that have come out and said that they wanted to be standing with them. They just weren't notified that he was going to be doing that.
And that's the only one I wanted to bring up. That is the only thing.
Yeah.
It's not the place where we get in anything else, but that was the only one I wanted to bring up because I knew there was a lot of people who did that, who were shitting on the Steelers for that reason.
Yeah, and it's fine that we touch on that just a little bit. I just really didn't want to get into it because we've already expressed our opinions on this,
right? And
this podcast. So if you guys are interested in hearing what we have to think about the whole kneeling thing, I think it's like episode 2 or something where we talk about that.
Yes.
So if you're really interested in hearing our opinions on that, you can go listen to that. But so jumping into the Week 3 scores, started off with the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. this game turned out to be one of the better games of the week. And
Yeah,
it's
they
kinda
were neck and
surprising.
neck. It was
yeah. Rams ended up pulling it out, 41-39, but it was it was a nail biter. It was a good game, actually. I was pretty surprised, especially because in the first half, which is the half that I watched, where the 49ers offense was basically doing nothing. After that, I was just like, well, I'm not going to watch this game because the 49ers aren't doing anything, so I think the Rams are just going to pull it out. Ended up being a really good game, so obviously I should have stayed tuned. So,
Man, that's what happens, though. The games that you don't think is going to work out are the ones that always just blow.
yeah. So joke's on me. While I wait for my scores to load because my internet's... There we go.
Ravens and Jaguars.
Yeah. This game was played in London, which...
Oh, this is the fucking game that was played in London.
Which I'm going to attribute to the fact of why Baltimore did so pitifully. Because those London games always seem to fuck with teams, and they have to go overseas for that.
Well, it's a combination of jet lag and fucking...
It's a lot of things.
God.
I fucking... NFL, stop doing this. I fucking hate London games. Not only are they boring as shit all the time, because you always get a shitty lineup for the London games, but it also throws the rest of the television scheduling for the football games out of whack. So when you do that, there's no 3:25 game on Fox, which is annoying as shit. Okay, so then we had the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. Very surprising one to me. Buffalo won 26-16.
Right. This is another... See, this was the week of... Man, I totally didn't look at these teams very seriously, and now I see them very seriously.
Yeah, I don't know if I see Buffalo seriously, more as how do I look at Denver now?
Right.
Like I wonder, I don't know what to think of Denver anymore, because their first two wins looked really good, especially the one against Dallas, where they just looked like they were going to be a beast team, and after that Buffalo performance, I just don't know what to think of them anymore. Maybe it's just they're a home team.
Who knows? That's again with some of these games. Just I'd like to point out they can be very jarring, and you just never know. Like as much as you look at the lineups and shit like that, you there's teams that'll be like, huh, didn't see that one coming.
They do call it a week-to-week league for a reason,
right?
New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Fully expected this outcome. Saints pulled it out 34-13. This was the only one that I wasn't shocked by, just because the Panthers' offense hasn't been doing jack shit the entire season. So that one wasn't very surprising to me. This one was a little bit of a shocker to me. The Pittsburgh Steelers at Chicago. The Bears won it 23-17. Another just random win. I just think that was one of those rare occasions where the worst team won, just because the better team was just making mistakes, which I think a lot of the loss can attribute to mistakes made by the Steelers.
Right. They just weren't on their game this week, and you can tell.
Yeah, they're definitely off. Then another really good game, the Atlanta Falcons at the Detroit Lions. Falcons won 30-2. I'm going to put quotation marks on 30-26. The Lions picked Matt Ryan off 3 times in this game. So everybody giving Jay Cutler shit about that one interception he had against the Jets. Matt Ryan threw 3 in this game. All 3 of his interceptions in one game this season. So there's something. And the reason why I put quotation marks on the Atlanta Falcons 1 is because I've already expressed my hatred for the Detroit Lions on this show. I can't fucking stand them. They won this game. If it wasn't for that stupid 10-second runoff rule, then they would have gotten another shot at the end zone. I didn't even know that was a rule until it happened, where if they review the play and there was nothing that would stop the clock, there's a 10-second runoff after the review. No idea that was a rule until that happened. And when you look at the play, they called it a touchdown on the field, and I'm not sure if there was enough evidence to overrule that. It looked very close. So, I mean, if I was a Lions fan, I'd be salty about this one. I'm with you, Detroit, on this one. I'd be pretty damn salty. Then we had the Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts won it 31-28.
By a slim fucking margin.
I mean, like, it's not surprising, but at the same time, way to go, you beat the Browns. So, then this one was really surprising to me. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings won it 34-17.
Oh my god, hashtag skull, Ryan. Hashtag skull.
No.
That's right, Ryan, did you not see? Everyone was like, yeah, Vikings! Playoffs, here we come!
Nah.
Everyone, you can't tell me that's not what it was like.
Shut the fuck up, Vikings fans.
It is what happens when they win.
Shut the fuck up, Vikings fans.
They're just like, they're so confident they're going to make it.
And they shouldn't be. The Houston Texans at the New England Patriots. Really good game.
Yes.
Down to the wire. New England won it 36-33. Houston almost pulled it off. Their safety dropped an interception that would have sealed the game.
Yeah. My thing about this is that I like a Patriots game where it doesn't look like the Patriots walked all over you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I really liked this game. I know a lot of people are like, man, Patriot fans are like, what just happened? I'm like, no. Football fans should be like, oh shit, this is actually a game. There's actually a challenge. I am so sick. Like, I don't know about you, but there are some games I am so sick of watching highlights or just watching the game where I know what team is actually going to win, and they win by a high margin. College football is always like that for me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I like a game where it's like, it's close. Yes, it sucks that they could have lost, but it makes the game fun.
Yeah, there's two types of games that I really love to watch, and that is defensive struggles where neither offense can seem to score, and then shootouts where both offenses are just scoring constantly.
Right. And that's the thing about this game. It felt like a game that, like, you can watch again and still be like biting your nails, like, oh man, what's going to happen? Comparatively to a lot of these other fucking games.
Yeah, that was a really good game to watch. I enjoyed that one. Then we had the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. Jets won it 20-6. So, I mean, good news for Jets fans. I guess you aren't the Browns, because the Browns are 0-3.
This game, man.
But,
holy shit.
I mean...
This was my what the fuck game.
This was... it wasn't really a what the fuck game for me, just because, really, we hadn't seen what the Dolphins are going to be like yet.
I thought there would be higher points.
I didn't think there was going to be... both of those offenses are terrible, so I wasn't expecting a high-scoring game. Then we had the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Really, really, really good game. Eagles won it 27-24. New York Giants came roaring back in the second half to make it into a game. Then Philadelphia won it on a 61-yard field goal. Good God.
Right. And I don't know about you, but my dad and I have always talked about football. Like, football is, at the game, it's point by point. Every point matters, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And, like, we've always talked about that from when I was playing in high school to now. Like, every point matters. Like, 1 point could steal your game. You miss a field goal or you get a field goal, that could just be that winning ticket. You know what I mean? And we've seen that a lot, and this is again one of those games where it's like you kicked it into overdrive and you pulled out the win.
That was a really good game. Elliott, you're a fucking beast for just nailing a 61-yard field goal. I mean, he didn't nail it, but he had so much height on that ball when it went through the field goal. I think he would have made it from like 70 yards out if he really wanted to. Then we had the Seattle Seahawks at the Tennessee Titans. Titans win it 33-27. Titans offense just exploded in this game. They were all over the place. And it's just like we've been saying all along, that Legion of Boom just isn't the Legion of Boom anymore.
It's more of a Legion of like, meh.
It's a Legion of Boo. Boo, we're getting blown out.
No, that's the Cowboys.
If you want to be literal, then yeah.
Sorry, I know we weren't supposed to bring it up, but you brought the boo. I'm like, no, dude, that's the Cowboys.
Then we had a really good game in the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay won it 27-24 in overtime. Aaron Rodgers coming in clutch, made a really good final drive to tie the game up, and then drew the defense offside and just delivered a bomb to Geronimo Allison to set up the game-winning field goal. So really good performance by Rodgers. And Rodgers joins, I think, what is only 11 total quarterbacks in NFL history that have beaten all 31 teams in the NFL. It's not including their own team.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'd be 32.
Their scrimmage counts.
Yeah. So he's beaten all other teams in the NFL throughout his career. So
that's very actually. As much as, like, sometimes I give you shit for really loving Aaron... I give you shit for really loving Aaron Rodgers. Like, he deserves the respect he gets in the league. And I think that is a testimony to how he plays, is that he is that good.
I don't love Aaron Rodgers. I just think he's a really good quarterback. Like, my brother Tyler will tell you. He'll be the first person to tell you that I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers. I really don't like him. He's probably my least favorite Packers player. Really? I just know that he's a really good quarterback, so I don't mind the fact that he's on our team.
Wow, that's actually
really... I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
Can I ask why? Like, I just, like, now... You've never told me this, like, because every time you've talked about Aaron Rodgers, you've talked about him very positively.
Yeah, because I acknowledge the fact that he's a good quarterback. I just fucking hate him. I hate him for the fact of that he's not the leader that I would like to have on offense, whereas you don't see... Thanks for the noise! Whereas you don't see him getting, like, really pumped up after a big play and getting everybody excited and stuff. He's a very reserved guy, which is okay. Like, that's just the way he is.
Right.
But I like somebody that gets excited and is, like, sprinting down the field and stuff.
Alright, so you want a hype man.
Up. Yeah, I want a hype man.
Alright, I thought that's okay.
And not only that, but, I mean, Aaron Rodgers can be kind of douchey and throw people under the bus, so you're not supposed to do that as a teammate, so... I mean, he's a fantastic player, and he's probably the most athletically gifted quarterback in the history of the league, but I fucking hate him.
Wow, my eyes have been opened.
Then we have the... It also has to do with the fact that he replaced Brett Favre, and I fucking loved Brett Favre. So I didn't even like Aaron Rodgers coming in, so I liked him even less as the years progressed.
First year, like it's like when you get a new stepdad, you're like, you're not my dad.
Yeah. Then we had the Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Chargers. Hey guys, I got it right for the second week in a row.
I'm so proud of you. You're getting better at this.
Kansas City won it 24-10. Not a real surprise there. The big story out of this game is Hunt, the fucking running back for the Chiefs. My God, does he look good.
Yeah.
What a beast. Right now, he is on pace to break the rookie single-season rushing record. If he keeps up at the pace he's going, they said that he's going to rush for 2,184 yards, I think, and the record's like 1,800 something. So, really good job. He's actually, if Kansas City keeps doing this well, I'd say that not only he's making a case for Rookie of the Year, but he's also making a very strong MVP case, even just for being a rookie, which is very impressive.
That is very impressive. I dig that.
And then this game was actually a huge shock for me. The Oakland Raiders at the Washington Redskins. Washington won it 27-10. Looking at the score, it doesn't look close, but if you were watching the game, it was even less close because that Raiders offense didn't do jack shit.
Oh, dude, it was fucking garbage.
I think they had just over 70 yards of offense by the time the game was over.
I thought it was
really bad.
I thought it was 68. It might have.
Yeah.
It
was really
it's
bad.
Low, and it's a little disheartening to me.
Yeah.
Because this is what Oakland. This is Oakland's last year in Oakland, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they're moving to Vegas next year.
They are Vegas because someone told me it was the Chargers, but I'm pretty sure the Chargers. Yeah. So I mean, I know they were gonna lose here and there. But it's just for me, it's a little disheartening to see that being the loss.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird loss. It wasn't one that I was expecting. I was expecting them to come in and just steamroll Washington, but Washington came to play, so gotta give them credit. And then we had the Dallas Cowboys at the Arizona Cardinals. Dallas won it 28-17. Not a real surprise there. Arizona hasn't been looking good this year, so
go Legion of Boo.
All right, then we're going to get into Week 4 of the NFL. So, Thursday night game is the oldest rivalry in the NFL, the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. I'm going with Green Bay. I don't care what anybody says, they still own the North.
Do you work that day?
Thursday? No, I haven't.
No, would you like to come over and watch the game with me?
Sure.
Okay. Jay, do you want to watch the game with us? Oh, you're going to be next week.
Do you want to watch my team shit on yours?
Oh, my gosh. Sure.
And not only, I'd give it to Green Bay even if they were at Chicago, but just being in Lambeau, I think, just gives Packers
the edge
that they need.
Right, it does give them the edge. I want to give the Bears a little hope, but then again, it's kind of just like a pity give. Hope the Bears win. They could use a good pick me up.
So, are you going with the upset then?
No, it's kind of like you watch your kid play basketball one year and you're like, hey kid, you're gonna need to play guitar next year, and that was my thought, and I'm just like, yeah, it's gonna be the Packers.
I mean, the New Orleans Saints at the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna go with the Saints.
After last week, I feel like the Saints have the upper hand.
Yeah, I think their offense has a groove going now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like we said, week 1 is just the getting the rust off of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the Saints have it's not an easy win, but it's a win in the bag for them this week.
Yeah. Then we have the Carolina Panthers at the New England Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's disputing that one. Then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Jets. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. They've gotten some randomly really good wins, and it's kind of weird. But, I mean, if they keep the trend going, then they're going to lose this week and then win the next week.
I don't like either team. I think they're both kind of shit in their own ways. It's really hard. It's like, do you want to have gonorrhea or do you want to have syphilis? They're both curable, but they're both not good for you. Oh man, I'm gonna go counter oppose for you on this one. I'm just gonna go with the Jets. It's this is a game that won't matter to me. I don't play fantasy football league, so none of some games I don't tune into and I don't watch it on a live stream. This game is one of those games where I'm not gonna be like, man, I better go check the scores of the Jaguars and Jets.
Yeah, who cares? Then we have the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. I'm going Titans. That offensive looked pretty impressive.
I'm also going to the Titans. The Texans have had a couple of wins this year, but I don't know. There's just something about Tennessee that looks like they're getting their groove back too, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their offense is looking really good. They're clicking early in the season, so that's a good sign for Titans fans. They have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams that I have really big question marks on after this last week. But I'm going to give it to the Steelers just because I have less of a question mark on them.
I'm going to give it to the Steelers because I honestly think last week's game was a mental game played before the game. That is where I stand. We talked about that. I feel like that really got, shit like that can get you off of, some shit stuff like that. So
off the field distractions can affect a game.
So I that was my thing about that's the reason why I bring up that game, because I did feel like they were just off their game after that whole debacle. So Not against anyone who kneels or doesn't kneel. I just think that did throw off their game a little bit. So this week, hopefully they do a little bit better with what they want to do.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, on the flip side of that, I could also see it going to the Ravens. Because whenever you see a team get blown out the way that the Ravens did, they always come back the next week.
Yeah.
And they're pretty hungry the next week. So
I want it to be a close game. You know, I know we've had this like I said.
I think it'll be close. Most of the time, rivalry games are always really good competitive games, no matter how good or bad the teams are. So
I totally agree.
then we had the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. One of these teams is going to get their first win this week. Who's it going to be?
Do you want to put bets on this? Want to put money on which team is going to get it? Because I have no seeing of either.
Dude, I'm going with Cincinnati. Browns are going 0-4. I give no fucks.
You really are going to just You really are just going to beat the joke down like the Browns suck.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I tried to give the Browns the win last week. They didn't do it for me, so I'm not going to try and give it to them this week.
Yo, dog,
prove me wrong, and I'll pick you.
So you're basically Randy Jackson right now. Yo, dog, that's going to be a no.
It's going to be a no for me, dog.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati as well. This is one of those times where I'm just kind of the Bengals suck, but they're not in the league of suck as the Browns are. So, yeah.
Yep.
Lions and Vikings.
Yep. I'm going for between the Lions and Vikings. I mean, it's at Minnesota, which I guess gives the Vikings an edge. Maybe?
No, it fucking doesn't.
Yeah, Lions are gonna win this. Matthew Stafford's gonna throw darts all over there.
I fucking hate when people say there are okay,
home field advantage does matter.
Right, there are certain teams that it matters to. All right,
Vikings is one of them. That stadium's fucking loud.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
Yeah, they are. It's a fucking headache when you go there. By the way, don't ever watch a Vikings game. So loud. So many part Canadians there screaming about football.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go, Minnesota.
Go. Toss that football. Oh, guys, are you gonna watch the Montreal Rough Riders later?
Oh, the ref threw a flag. What the fuck is that all about?
Someone give me a brew,
But yeah, I'm going with Lions. I just think the Lions can outscore the Minnesota.
Oh, they are going home field or not. There's still also skill involved in a game.
Then we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Rams really haven't faced anybody good so far this year, so this is going to be their first big test, and I think they're going to get stomped. Then we have the Buffalo Bills at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons is, again, one of those teams that when they're at home, they do have home field advantage, especially because they're playing on turf. And the Falcons are so much faster when they're playing on turf that it's scary.
See, man, that's always been the one thing that has always gotten to me about that is that I get that some people they don't want to keep up the grass and shit like that, but AstroTurf and grass are two fucking different playing fields.
Two very different styles.
Very different styles coming from a guy who used to play soccer and shit like that, comparatively. I'm I just think that shit's unfair. Either everyone goes Astrograss or no one does. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous sometimes.
I can feel that, but I don't know. It just adds another dimension to the game. So I'm fine with it. I mean, the Falcons are gonna stomp the Bills.
Right. It's the Bills, but
then we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Chargers. Eagles. Chargers are gonna go 0-4.
Yeah. They were never a good team when they weren't that good of a team when they were in San Diego. They're still keeping the pattern when they moved to Los Angeles.
They were good back in the day, but these past few years they've just been shit.
Right, and kudos to you guys getting an Asian kicker, but that really hasn't helped you. His karate skills did not come in handy.
Then we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I'm actually gonna go 49ers.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna go with Brian Hoyer?
Yeah.
Ooh, good luck with that, pal.
I'm going. I'm gonna. I don't know. They kind of played well last week, just a bit. I'm just,
It was the Rams.
I know. This is gonna be my upset. This is gonna be my underdog game.
All right.
This will be my underdog game, guys.
All right, we'll see how that works out for you.
It probably won't work out well.
Then the New York Giants at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, two teams that I just don't know about. I mean, Giants looked good against the Eagles, but then again, they were a winless team in desperation mode. So, I mean, you always play a little bit harder when you're in desperation mode. And since they lost again, I don't know what they're going to look like this week. So, and then the Buccaneers got trashed by the Vikings, so I don't know what to think of them either.
I'm gonna go with Clan Big Forehead with the Mannings, and
I'm gonna
go Giants.
Flip my mental coin and go with the Buccaneers.
Okay.
Because it landed on heads.
How does one do a mental flip? You know what it's gonna land on, you fuck.
Just keep it spinning until you don't even.
I'm gonna mentally flip a coin in my head. I wonder if it's heads. It's heads.
I was gonna go with the Buccaneers anyways.
I'm just kind of like the way you explain that, man.
We have the Oakland Raiders at the Denver Broncos.
Okay, this is the one that's going to be weird to me because A, you're playing at a higher altitude.
Yeah.
That always affects players. As weird as that sounds.
I mean, I want to go with the Raiders just because I absolutely fucking hate the Broncos, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
I'm going with my boys. I'm going with the Raiders.
Hopefully they can get it together this
Hopefully
week.
they can. They did not have their shit together last week. This week is another story, Ryan. It's another game.
Then we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm like fucking talking about how my child sucks, and they're like, no, he'll do better. Just you wait.
I'm going with the Seahawks in this one.
I'm also going with the Seahawks. The Colts have not proven me wrong yet this year, and they probably won't prove me wrong yet.
Then we have the Washington Redskins at Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Chiefs. They've been on fire lately, and I don't see that slowing down anytime
I'm
soon.
also going to go with the Chiefs. It's always weird to see two teams that seem like legitimately the same with their names, like the Redskins and the Chiefs, and the Broncos versus the Colts. I'm like,
yeah. Now when they do that, oh chant, I'm not gonna know who we're rooting for.
Don't ever realize how racially insensitive some fucking teams are until you're playing another team that does like super racial insensitive shit, and you're like,
it could be worse. It could be worse. The Redskins fans could totally be doing worse things. Have you ever seen Peter Pan?
Yeah. I just pictured them smoking peyote pipes every touchdown.
Alright, guys, so we'll see how our predictions turn out. That has been Let the Fans Talk. Come back next week.
I'm going to name my daughter Tiger Lily.
Love you guys, bye.